Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Deepdive. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. The visuals on your screen are enough to convey the expansive nature of the tragedy that has hit Meghalaya. We are talking about the deadliest mine blasts in the state, where most of the deceased were laborers in this incident from Assam. At least 19 people are dead, 8 are injured after an explosion at an illegally operating rat hole coal mine in Meghalaya's East Jaintia Hills district. The blast was so powerful that the victims' identities cannot yet be established. The blast occurred on morning of February 5th in the Thangshu area, a remote and poorly connected region known for illegal coal mining activity. Police say the mine was operating in violation of existing court orders and without any safety clearances. 2 people identified by police as the owners of the mine have been arrested. Rescue operations continue with teams from the National Disaster Response Force, State Disaster Response Force and a special rescue unit deployed at the site. One worker who suffered severe burn injuries is currently undergoing treatment in Shillong. The location of the mine has significantly complicated rescue operations. The site is around 25 kilometers from the district headquarters, but due to lack of road infrastructure and difficult terrain, it takes nearly 3 hours to reach. The final stretch is accessible only by 4-wheel drive vehicles. This remoteness is one of the reasons illegal mining continues to flourish in the region. According to officials involved in the rescue, the physical structure of the mine poses extreme risks both for miners and for those trying to save them. Anurag Kumar Singh, an inspector with the NDRF, has said the mine has a central vertical pit more than 100 feet deep. From the base of this pit, 3 narrow rat holes branch out horizontally. Miners enter these tunnels to extract coal manually. At a depth of around 50 feet, water is seeping through the walls, causing mud to fall down into the pit. At the bottom, one of the rat holes is already filled with water, making it impossible for rescue teams to proceed further in that direction. The other 2 tunnels have been searched up to 25 feet inside, but rescuers say the problem is that each of these tunnels branches into several smaller rat holes extending in multiple directions. The dimensions of these tunnels are extremely constricted, only 2 feet high and 3 feet wide, leaving rescuers with no option but to crawl. These conditions also explain why rat hole mining is considered one of the most dangerous forms of coal extraction. Let's understand more about this form of coal extraction. Rat hole mining is a manual method of coal extraction practiced primarily in parts of northeast India, especially Meghalaya. Workers dig narrow, unreinforced tunnels into coal seams, often without protective gear, ventilation or emergency exit routes. There are 2 common methods. The side cutting method, where miners dig horizontal holes along tunnels along coal seams visible on hill slopes, and the box cutting method, where a pit sometimes several hundred feet deep is dug vertically and rat holes are cut from the base. This practice was banned by the National Green Tribunal and the ban was subsequently upheld by the Supreme Court. Despite this, illegal rat hole mines continue to operate across Meghalaya. East Jaintia Hills in particular has been a repeat site of fatal mining accidents over the years. In response to the latest incident, the Meghalaya High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of media reports on the blast. A division bench comprising Justice Thangchu and Justice Dingdo have expressed serious concerns that illegal mining activities were still being carried out despite previous fatal incidents and clear court orders prohibiting such operations. The court has ordered the immediate seizure of all machinery, documents and materials connected to the illegal mining operation. It has also summoned the Deputy Commissioner and Superintendent of Police of East Jaintia Hills to appear in person on the 9th of February. The officials have been directed to submit a detailed report on the action taken so far, including arrests made, equipment seized and measures put in place to prevent the continuation of illegal mining. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has also announced a comprehensive inquiry into the accident and an ex-gratia of 3 lakh rupees for the next of kin of each deceased worker. Assam has also announced 5 lakhs as ex-gratia and PMO has announced 2 lakh rupees from the PM-NRF fund. Listen to what the Meghalaya CM had to say.
It takes about approximately 3 hours to reach from the headquarters. Very difficult terrain, and it can be only accessed by 4x4 wheel. From the government side, we have asked 2 of our cabinet ministers, Mr. Lakman Rambui and Mr. Vailat Mikishila, to go to the district as well as to work their way and reach the site, meet the officials and have a detailed discussion and meeting, and take necessary action which has to be taken. And
This blast has once again brought into sharp focus the question of why illegal rat hole mining continues. Despite court bans, despite past tragedies, and despite the human cost for the families of the 18 workers who died, the questions are more immediate and far more personal. Why were these mines still running? Who allowed them to operate? And will this time be any different? RVS Mani, former Under Secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs, is joining us for more on this story. RVS Mani, this is, of course, a very sad incident, but what makes this shocking is that this was happening illegally against court directives and against the law of the land.
Indeed, it is very unfortunate, and so many lives have been lost. And rat hole mining is happening. It is happening under the nose of the state government. All of these are questions. But how do they circumvent the law? I have known cases of many places where the mining, it's not shown as mining, because Mines Act is basically administrative, the domain of the state, and state government's domain, it has to be, they clear their license and all. But even in that part of the state, they also say different ways, like calcination of coal, refining of coal refinery, coal washery. That is the front line which is shown, and ultimately a rat hole line is hitting. These have been there. We have dealt with it for 30 or 40 years back also. It has been happening. Open cast mines are the right way. Underground mines in our Jharkhand area is doing very well. There is not much, a lot of it. Thirdly, the Directorate General of Mine Safety under the Labour Ministry is a specifically empowered body to ensure this safety of the miners and miners' safety. How much they reach out to these rat hole mines, what is the audit conducted, that is not known, because as it said, it is a very inaccessible, challenging terrain to reach out to that, to check the miners' safety regulations. Firstly, the rat hole mines' existence itself is illegal. NGT, Supreme Court, everybody has said that. Having said that, are they licensed as rat hole mines? I do not think so, because earlier also some places are there. These are all the substantive issues relating to the mines. Moreover, the northeast, especially the region where it is happening, it is extremely sensitive region, and are these mines being run and the proceeds taken out in some other way to some other hands is a very, very suspicious situation. That is the second part. The security and the national imperatives have also to be examined. Since this has come to light, the two parties, the existence of mine itself, per se, what are all the ramifications, how did they run, whether it was running as a proper mine licensed by the state government, or was it running as an accessory like a coal washery, coal refinery, coal calculations. There are so many downstream processes are there where they get the license and actually do this type of rat hole minings. This is a fact that we have checked it on many times. Having said that, this is one part of the story, and number two is the national security or the security ramification in such a sensitive area. Whether the unscrupulous owners of the mine were doing something more than making profit out of it, sending the proceeds of revenue to some unfortunate things against the country. That is the second part, because it's a very, very sensitive area. We have just concluded we have a democratic government just formed 2 days before in Manipur. So immediately after that, this is occurring. Was it a sabotage? Was it a deliberate accident? Or it was sheer a safety failure? Or it was always waiting to happen? It was an accident waiting to happen. These are all the larger things which needs to be addressed at the larger level. So I am sure the Meghalaya Chief Minister has expressed his concern. The Government of India will, Mines Minister or the Coal Minister will also get into this thick of things with a representative of the security agency, so that we get a larger picture into this. That is what is very unfortunate, that in spite such a sensitive area, it is not a single rat hole mine. There are quite a few rat hole mines. Not now, earlier also, and incidentally they mine out coke, very high quality, high calorific value coal also, which is very well priced in those areas. Meghalaya, Margarita and other places have, Jaintia Hills also, lot of coal deposit. But why not did we go through the proper, formal, conventional open cast mines or underground mines? Why do we have to go these type of unscrupulous?
Yes.
We can
Absolutely, and immediately now steps need to be taken. I think
Surely.
the secretary has been summoned. Also, the SP of the area or the deputy secretary has been summoned. Immediate action needs to be taken, and
Right,
court monitored
right.
action.
Perfectly right. We need to go for why are the rat holes allowed to mushroom around the Meghalaya and those areas? And it's a very sensitive area, inaccessible area. The relief cannot
Indeed.
reach fast. The relief cannot be rushed into fast. Accessibility is a challenge there. See, it is because of terrain, because of weather conditions, everything is held out against them. And there it is happening. It is unfortunate. I'm sure it's a red flag for us. We need to be reinforcing our steps to ensure that these mines are abolished, they're taken out from the map, convert them to open cast mines. There is nothing wrong in that. So, but I know it is cost intensive, the entrepreneurs may not like it, but some sort of NetFIC and others can always give the capital intensive funding to convert it into proper net. I do not think the refinery is exempted from the NetFIC agenda, so I think it can be done again. The subsidies, of course, they don't, but natural plantations and refineries are very much a part of NetFIC financing.
Yes.
SIDBI financing can come, and that type of mining also special financing can be made, and it can be.
I'm afraid we've run totally out of time.
RVS
Mani, thank you for joining us with your perspective.
Thank you very much. Thanks.